Welcome back to day 16. Today the story is called The Special Visitors and it's from Genesis 18. One day Abraham was sitting at the opening of his tent while Sarah tried to keep cool inside. The midday sun was beating down. Abraham looked up and was surprised to see 3 men coming near. People did not usually travel at this hot time of the day. Abraham ran to meet them, knowing that they would need shade and water. "Please stop and rest," he invited them. "Sit down under this tree while I fetch you water to drink and wash them." The men sat down gratefully, and Abraham hurried in to Sarah and asked her to get a good meal ready for their unexpected visitors. There was bread to be baked, a calf to be killed and cooked, milk and cream to be fetched. All was hustle and bustle. At last Abraham served the visitors with a fine outdoor banquet under the tree. Then the leader of the 3 strangers asked, "Where is Sarah?" "In the tent," Abraham replied, surprised. "In 9 months' time she will have a son," the man said. Sarah, who was curious to know more about these visitors, had been standing just inside the tent flap, listening. When she heard what the strangers said, she burst out laughing. It was impossible. She was far too old to have a son. "Why did Sarah laugh?" the man asked. "I didn't," called out Sarah guiltily. "But you did," the man replied. "Is anything too hard for your Lord? I will certainly do as I have promised." When he heard these words, Abraham realized with a shock that none of these visitors were ordinary men. Their leader spoke the words of God himself. What do you think of that story? As we talked about briefly yesterday, belief is really important. If God gives you a message or directs your path in a certain direction, you must believe and just follow through and just keep taking action and keep stepping forward, because as you step forward, God will clear the path for you to get to where you need to get to fulfill his plan for you, because he has plans for each and every one of us. And so with that in mind, we have to believe his plans will come true. And it takes patience. Sarah didn't believe because she probably had run out of patience. She probably was another 5 or 6 years older after she had heard the message originally from Abraham. So imagine 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 years later, after being promised that you will have a son. And imagine if you were in your 60s or 70s and you heard that message for the first time. So then now she's in her 80s. Imagine that, an 80-year-old woman having a baby. The thing we need to remember when we read the Bible is that these were beginning times, so people's diets were not as disastrous as they are today. People used to walk everywhere. There were no cars, there were no buses. People used to walk or ride a donkey or a horse, or so people were a lot healthier. They lived a lot longer. I think it was Noah who lived over 120 years. So somebody who was 80 is still probably classed as middle age in that time, but in this time they're classed as past it completely. So God keeps promises. He will keep his promise to you, and therefore you must honor what he has said and keep moving forward with what he had planned for you. God bless you.